From the Illegal Shift Studio, it's another episode of the One Morning Out of Here podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Carroll. And I got to tell you, I'm not 100% today. Plus,
you're starting it right out of the gate.
I'm pissed. I am mad. I'm hot as a fucking match. Let me tell her. Do you want to introduce yourself? Then I'll tell everyone what happened, Jason.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when you come in hot.
I'm mad as. I texted you this morning and told you what happened.
Yes.
I got up early today.
I misunderstood your text, though, because I thought it was something else that you were upset about.
I got up early today because I knew I'd be working with our buddy Corbett all day, and I would be getting in here, coming in hot. 2 hours worth of work, finding stories, putting them on my word processing program, and then what I do is I copy everything and send it to an email, send an email to myself, so all the headlines are right there. I click on it, take me to the link. 2 hours. I was doing that today. I sent you a couple of things before I was ready to start my day. I mean, other than the work I was doing for the podcast. I go to put it in my email. No, deleted, gone, can't find it. Fuck. Dude, I had so much good stuff for today. So that's why I'm a little bit assuaged that we've got Dexter Pitts in the house today to help carry the load. Because I'm just going to sit back and enjoy his ramblings. But, I've got a lot to contribute, especially this numbnut in the White House going to Syracuse. But I want to wait till we get Dexter in here before we launch into that. I'm pissed. And my allergies are acting up.
I can tell by
I've had a turd cooking all day, so I'm a little uncomfortable.
I can tell by the way you were texting today that it was going to be banger tonight.
All my shit got deleted. I mean, it's not been the best of it.
You know who I blame for that?
One more and I'm out of here?
Hillary. I blame Hillary. She stole your emails. But hey, without further ado, we put it in the title. We got our boy Dexter Pitts from the I Am Pitts podcast. Most of you know him. If you don't know him, you need to. We're going to bring him into the stage. Dex, how we doing, my man?
Up? Good, man.
Dexter, you feeling
I hire right now.
Love? Come on, brother. Huh?
I am. I feel like a DEI hire. Everything goes haywire. We got to bring in the black guy.
Don't worry, equal opportunity.
That's how you recover, though. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Damn, he's on to us.
So, like I said, Dexter's the host of the I Am Pitts podcast, found on all your platforms. I think he said he's getting ready to go back to just audio versus video, but very, very, very good podcast. The guy's history is phenomenal. If you haven't, we've had him on before, but Dex, I'm going to have you give just a quick, brief bio of your ledger of work, what you've done. But his last podcast focused on his year in the Border Patrol, and it was an awesome episode, and I encourage everybody to go check it out. But introduce yourself to anybody that doesn't know you.
So I'm Dexter Pitts, the author of the book I Am Pitts, Memoirs of an American Patriot, and the I Am Pitts podcast, and have a lengthy history. Currently, I've been in law enforcement for the last 15 years, and prior to that, I was in the United States Army, served in Iraq with the 10th Mountain Division in 2004 and 2005. Got blown up in the Middle East. Now I get a check on the 1st, and life is pretty good. Outside of that, after getting out the Army, decided want to keep serving. What better way than putting on a police uniform? Been doing that for the last 15 years and absolutely love it. Did not love my time in the Border Patrol, though. It was the worst decision, worst job I've ever had in my life. I would, if anybody out there is considering joining the Border Patrol, I'd highly suggest you don't. You have way better options out there.
So when you left, so you got in, once you got out of the Army, you went to, can we say where you went?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So it went to Louisville Metro. And then when you took the job with the Border Patrol, and had a short stint, did they hold your position with the Metro Police Department? Do you guys have that rule? Because I know Cincinnati, if you leave, they'll hold your spot for, I believe it's a year. I could be wrong on that, but you have your spot.
Yeah.
Is it the same way there?
It's the same. And You get your seniority back if you come back within a year. So I was gone 19 months, so that was a wash. But man, I tell people, especially the way the department is now, Louisville Metro, it's like a Motel 6, bro. They leave the light on for you, man. People are constantly still telling me to come back because I left again twice. I'm now with a smaller agency within the Louisville area, and I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. I feel like I'm the police again, and I'm not dealing with all the crap they're dealing with down the street at Metro. But it's fun, man. But dude, it's just seeing the place that used to be the beacon of like law enforcement in the state of Kentucky. It was so weird back in the day. Like everybody would go to these smaller agencies to get hired, get experience in the hopes of becoming a Louisville Metro police officer. Now it's completely flipped where everybody's going to Metro because they're hiring anybody and everybody because they just need bodies and uniforms. And they're not hiring the best people. Kind of like Trump said about the border back in 2016, they're not sending their best. Well, Metro is not hiring their best, unfortunately. So, man, they're hiring whoever they can, man, and people that want to get in law enforcement and go elsewhere and be treated better and actually do the job and make more money. Everybody's getting hired by Metro. They're doing their 3 years, and then they're leaving with all their experience and going elsewhere, man. It's a shame what it's become.
What is it, do you think, that makes it so hard to keep police officers around, especially in bigger city departments? I know we have money problems here in Cincinnati, and we haven't had a full complement of police officers available for some time. But now when they have the recruiting classes, you can't even get people to fill up the recruiting classes anymore. So they are really struggling. And thank God they haven't resorted to lowering the standards. They have a little bit, but they haven't resorted to lowering the standards to where they're going to take drug addicts and felons and people like that.
So, man, so what they're doing now is, and it's just not Louisville, it's like you said, it's every major police department across the country. They're throwing money at a problem. And this is how I look at it. Money is to cover the wound, but unfortunately, under that wound, you're still bleeding to death, and the bleeding needs to be cauterized, but it can't. Money is just putting a patch on the problem, but it's not solving the problem. Money will get people there, but it won't keep them there. And so the problem is now, like, nobody wants to be the police. Everybody's seen how the police were treated the last 4 years. And the biggest thing we kept hearing in 2020, when I was out in the streets during the protesting and rioting in uniform, and everybody was like, we hate you all. And everybody kept saying to all of us, you're on the wrong side of history. You're on the wrong side of history. Well, we're looking at the history 4 years later, and let me ask everybody a question. Can you say that you're in your local precincts where you all live and where you work, is your city safer than it was 4 years ago, or is it safer now? I think everybody would agree that everything is way worse. And the thing is, police officers across the country knew this, and people left this profession in droves. People used to get in policing, and because it was an honorable job, and it still is an honorable job, but people used to get in not for the money, but for the honor of being a police officer and for wearing the uniform because of what it meant and what it reflected. And people would do it for 20, 25, 30, 35 years. I have a cousin that's getting ready to retire from the Indianapolis Police Department after 39 years. Wow. Those days are gone and no more. We have platoons. I was talking to my buddies downtown last night when I was working, because I was working at a hotel, and they had some downtown Louisville officers where I used to patrol at. I got into something. I went over there, and I met my boy who just got promoted. Haven't seen him in a while. He was like, man, the most senior guy on my platoon, it's 2 years.
Wow.
The most senior officer on his platoon. 2 freaking years. You don't know nothing at 2 years as an officer. You don't know squat. And that's who you got as your senior officer.
That sounds like trouble. That sounds like trouble waiting to happen.
It's absolutely trouble.
Yeah, I know one of the most frustrating things for police around here when you talk to the head of the FOP, they talk a lot about how they are trying to do their job. They used to do a thing here in Cincinnati called proactive policing. And that is where they would go out, and you had cops who were on regular beats every day. They knew the people in the neighborhoods. They knew who was supposed to be where, doing what, when and why. And so if they saw something that was out of place, they could step in and prevent a lot of crime before it happened. But the do-gooders at City Hall said, oh, no, wait a minute. Now you're targeting minority neighborhoods. You're targeting black kids. You're targeting. And, of course, we can't have that. We have to pretend like And we don't know where the criminals are. We have to pretend like we don't know who the good guys and the bad guys and gals are. Then after that happens, crime spikes up. Now, on top of that, we've also got a whole raft of judges who have installed a revolving door at the Justice Center at the courthouse. And so these kids come in, they spin around, they lawyer up, they go in front of a judge, and a lot of times they're back out on the streets before the cops can even complete the paperwork. It is unbelievably frustrating for law and order types. They have to deal with that day in and day out.
And then you have to look at the fact that when you're doing your job and you're doing your job justly, look at the Dexter Reed shooting that just happened. I think it was in Chicago, where they stopped this guy on a pretextual stop because they knew him and they were familiar with. For those that don't know, a pretextual stop, if I see you driving down the street and I know you're a scumbag and I know that you are probably up to no good, and you got that felony head snatch going around like you looking suspicious, and I need to stop you, I can get behind you, wait for you to not use your turn signal, wait for you to cross the center line. You got your tags are expired, something. I can find a reason to stop you to kind of initiate an investigation that goes a little further and deeper. But man, so that on Dexter Reed, and this guy shoots a police officer, a black cop at that, and he gets lit up. And guess who is everybody's looking at saying those cops were wrong? Even though he shot a cop.
Look at the cops, yeah.
Guess what? It's the cop's fault. And you wonder why you are having a hard time recruiting people to this profession. I mean, Alameda County, California, right now, a couple months ago, they had a $75,000 signing bonus that they were giving out. $75,000. And guess what just happened today? They had an incident where these officers got into an altercation with this guy, and this guy died. The officers were cleared of any wrongdoing. Well, they now have a new DA, district attorney. And this district attorney is reopening up this case that was closed, and they were shown not to be guilty of anything. It was thrown out. They are reopening the case and being charged with murder. And this is the same place that was like, hey, we have $75,000 sign-on bonus. When I saw that, I was like, that $75,000 is going to go for your legal defense fees.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's about 2 or 3 days worth of a good lawyer.
Yeah, man. And they wonder why. I'm just like, you know what? But regardless, I don't care what anybody says. It's still a great job. It's still a great profession. But you just have to choose where you work wisely. And that's with anything, man. You just got to choose. You got to be careful where you choose to go put on a uniform to serve. You have to, man, picking a police department work is like picking a spouse, man. You got to be real. You got to ask all the right questions, and it all looks good on the front end. But how's it going to be 3 years down the line when things get hard? And things ain't what it looked like, what you thought it was going to be. So you got to be very, very careful.
So not by any means trying to compare it, but like our Cincinnati Fire Department, that's our Metro Fire Department. That's where everybody that worked in the suburbs wants to try to go work. And I remember being a young fireman, tested multiple times, and we had huge affirmative action. There was the rule of nines. They had all kinds of rules, right, to get in. But you would have 4,000 to 5,000 people testing for multiple recruit classes, which a recruit class is anywhere between 40 and 50 people. But you'd have 4,000 to 5,000 people. This last test, and I can't be quoted on it exactly, but they were lucky to get 1,000. And it's
this is for the fire department,
the public service period for the fire department.
I love firefighters.
So COVID, and this is my synopsis of it, is COVID fucked it because everybody was getting money to not have to do anything. And nobody honestly wants to do police work or firework. Nobody wants to do it anymore because the generations have changed and nobody wants to do any hard work. But we've seen, and we're running into the same thing to Dan's point as far as trying to get people. It's hard. Like, we've dropped the standards as far as certifications. It was unheard of to get hired full time if you weren't a paramedic. You could be a fireman, paramedic, and you could walk into any job you wanted to. Well, now they've dropped it down to EMT basic, firefighter EMT basic, and you're getting full time. That was unheard of. My captain and I talk about it, every shift. Like when we were coming in, it was even, with the suburbs, it was 50 people for one job. But if you weren't a medic, you were fucked. So it's just trying to get people into public service, period. But the scrutiny that the police officers are under is just absolutely crazy. And I don't know how you pay somebody. They're starting to, like you said, they're up in the money, but your work conditions suck. So I want to get into your last episode though, where you made the jump to go from, Louisville Metro. Hey, I want to be a border patrol agent. Like that thought process just intrigues the shit out of me.
Honestly, I mean, I didn't necessarily start out wanting to be a border patrol agent. I wanted to be a federal agent in general, but when I got out of the Army. And so for me, I was looking at the ATF, FBI, DEA, more so the DEA, because they looked like they had a lot more fun and got into a lot more stuff. So for me, I was looking at what's the quickest way to get into the feds and then lateral to go to like the DEA or the U.S. Marshals, because I was on the U.S. Marshals task force here in Louisville. So I, in my mind, I was like, hey, this is it. This is what I want to do. So I jumped ship to Border Patrol in 2018, man. And I'll tell people that was the hardest training I've ever done in my life, dude. And like I said, it's not because I hated being a cop. I loved being a cop. I loved everything about it, but I had aspirations bigger than serving at the community level. I wanted to be a federal agent. And for me, I've always held the feds in high regard, which was a crazy thought. Well, now that I look back at it, because I used to see federal as the apex of law enforcement, because I felt like the standards to get higher were so much more stringent and stricter, and it's really not. And they're just like anybody else. And then you think that only the best of the best get to work for the for the federal government, and that was not the case at all. I worked with some people that were absolute scrubs, man. I was looking at people like how in the hell did you manage to get here through the hiring process, and how in the hell did you make it through the academy? So it was just one of the things. When I got there, and man, I was very, very happy, and I was very excited. I mean, when I graduated the academy, I was so proud. Like, dude, I made it through this intense 6-month academy where they literally beat your butt every day in training. I mean, physically, you're doing hundreds of push-ups and sit-ups. I mean, probably thousands a day of them running. And then you got to take, study your Spanish. And I mean, this ain't like basic Spanish. Like, you got 50 vocabulary words a week. You have to kind of know.
Wow.
You have a vocab test. Yeah. You got a actual Spanish written test on the computer. Then you have a Spanish, what is it called? Like a Spanish, where you it's like a play almost. You get acted out. Like they put you outside in this scenario. Yes, it's a scenario. You have to pass the scenario. So the first week, it was like, hey, your test this week is the alphabet and no Spanish. And okay, and I struggled that made it. The next week it was like, hey, you gotta know the months of the year. And I struggled with that. So I got on YouTube and I listened to these little kids' videos in Spanish that were like singing, teaching kids the like alphabet and the months of the year. So when it came time for my test, I would sit there and sing the song from my instructors. And
whatever works,
like,
man.
Are you serious? I'm like, it worked. But I always quit week 3.
Whatever works. Hell yeah.
Week 3, it was like, your test this week is a felony traffic stop, all in Spanish. Boy, I about threw up my hands like, man, I'm going home, bro. Ain't no way. But somehow I persisted and I learned it and I did it and I got through, dude. So, yeah, well, I guess we got an audio issues. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Hey, Dex, can you do us? Why don't you take a couple of minutes and see and check your connections and see if everything's up tight there, and then we'll see if the connection gets any better.
So I got full bars.
Here, let's see.
I'm gonna pull out real quick and come back. Pull out.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a little bit, and we definitely want to hear what you have to say. But I had Dexter on my radio show one time, and we were talking about border issues, and he was talking about that year that he spent on the border, and and it was 2018 when Trump was president. Mm-hmm. And even when Trump was president, it was still crazier than the Wild Wild West, the kind of stuff he was talking about. So the notion that if the Republicans would have passed this bill, that this bipartisan bill that would have addressed what was going on at the border, then we wouldn't have all these problems at the border anymore. That's a total load of crap.
Right. And and listening to his story, and I've hung out with Dex and gone down and got to meet his wife, his kids, spent the night. Dex and I had a mandate. It was awesome. He tried to hold my hand. But listen
is that all he tried to do?
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Because our movie seat in between was taken by not Jersey Mike subs, Jimmy John subs, because we were going to have that separate seat as most men do.
I had some Jimmy Johns this afternoon,
but we had to sit next to each other. But we got to hang out a ton, and just listening to his story. And so I already knew it listening to his last podcast, but I wanted to hear, if he went any further in depth. But to make the jump to go from the military, blown up in a Humvee, then you want to go and be essentially ridiculed by every person you come in contact with because you're the police, and nobody likes to talk to the police. If you're seeing a cop, it's usually not for good-natured shit. You're either getting a speeding ticket, doing nothing nefarious outside of speeding, or he's dealing with fucking murders, gangbangers, drug dealers, whatever. And then make that jump to the Border Patrol, and now you're chasing people through a fucking desert. It's very intriguing to me, like just that thought process. But getting to talk to him and getting to know him, he's also part. And once he comes back on, I want to get the name of the documentary because I watched it. I didn't realize he was part of it. But I slept, down in his man cave, which is absolutely phenomenal. And there's a poster of it. And once I got back, Jill and I watched it. It was fucking fantastic.
And look, man, Dexter Pitts is a man's man and a woman's man. And if 1 year after
you're a woman's man,
don't let my wife hear that.
I'm saying you're a man's man. You're a manly man, and you're a woman's man. You like women. I'm guessing you like women. What do I know?
Absolutely.
We took a quick interlude. What's the name of the documentary that you're in that Gandolfini did?
HBO, A Live Day Memories, Home from Iraq. It came back out in 2007.
It was awesome. I didn't realize you were very, very modest. Didn't even tell me you were a part of that. I only knew it because sleeping in your basement, I saw your poster. When I got home, I watched it, and it was fucking awesome.
Did you know I was in a Spike Lee movie too? Right after that, I was in the extra.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Spike Lee for a year. What's that?
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
No. Oh God, I wish I'm gonna get you too. Now, it was a Miracle at St. Anna, and it was about the 92nd Infantry Division in Italy back in World War II. And Gandolfini, he was like, "Hey, do you ever thought about acting?" And I was like, "Not really." The next thing you know, I'm sitting at home. I get a call from Spike Lee. It's like, "Hey, we want you to come with us to Italy." They flew me to Italy with the crew and spent like 2 weeks on set, man, learning how to act and being an extra. Got shot a bunch of scenes like as an extra. It was in the background. It was pretty cool, man. And I was going to move to New York City. They was like, "Hey, move to New York City. We'll help you get your acting career started." So I was all in, like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this, man." And I did a ride along with the police department, man, and fell in love with police.
Well,
and
there
I
you go.
am. Well, honestly, I'm glad I didn't go that route because I'd probably be looking at y'all like y'all were some white people of oppression. Like I'd be all in and down for the struggle. Like, yeah, and these white people are evil and awful.
I don't know. Would Spike Lee come on the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast?
Absolutely.
Would he be a guest on this show?
He wouldn't even be a guest on my show. Yeah. Hey, all these people are extremely racist, and I'm saying that for a fact, bro. Like, if you ain't
equal opportunity, bro, I like that. That's good. So no, but the point I was making is that if 1 year of tour of duty at the border can wear out a guy like you, I can only imagine how tough and how strong-willed the people are who stay there year after year and do it year after year. And I also imagine there's a hell of a lot of turnover. But the people who are at the border who are doing that job, God bless them, man. Because after talking to you and hearing your story, I know that is not an easy duty.
It's that, man. Well, one of my best friends, he actually just left the other day. He had his last day, man. He's going now to the FEMA police and coming out east with me. So I'm kind of happy about that. But I mean, I'll probably say 3/4 of my Border Patrol class is gone. But everybody's left and gone to the other side to CBP, the Customs and Border Protection office, where the guys in blue uniform. So I mean, dude, it's a rough job. And I mean, you're picking up your entire life and moving to southern border where you have no family support, no structure. Where I was at was decent because I was in a military post, and we had, we had kind of a decent life. But I mean, you got guys that are in like Presidio, where it's literally, they call it old school Border Patrol, like where there's nothing there. Like, you live in the middle of the desert. There's no hospitals. The nearest store is like 3 hours away. Like they have that. And I was like, those guys are in the midst of the crap. But also, man, it's just a weird time, because we have this influx of illegal aliens right now that is insane. They say a couple million, like, no, it's about 15, 20 million. I don't care what anybody says, because those are the numbers are starting, are the ones that we know about. And there used to be people that get across the border all the time that we didn't know about. And we would look at the group of tracks and kind of estimate how many people it was. And we would say, like, we got gotaways. So it'd be like 10 people got away that we didn't find. And I mean, and the problem is, when you look at the mission statement of the Border Patrol, they're here to protect America's borders, to keep us from being hurt by terrorists and people that would come to this country and do us harm. But they're not doing their mission. They're not living up to their, to their code. And I'm like, that's disgraceful. Like, imagine me as a cop, like, I'm gonna go out here and be dishonorable every day. People would raise hell. Like, you would think that people with Border Patrol would say, hey, you know what? We're done with this. We're tired of following the horrible orders that are actually forcing us to turn our back on the oath we swore. But guys aren't doing that. And I tell people that's because they get paid really good down there, man. Regardless of how bad the job is, these cats are making low to mid $100,000 a year just as agents. And sometimes you don't have to work on patrol, depending on where you're at. You got guys that sit in processing all day, or you got guys that sit on the line and sleep literally for 8-9 hours a night. I've seen it. I mean, I would go pull my drag, and I would come back hours later. Guys still there, just snoring, and I'm just hadn't moved an inch. And it's just like, man. And like I said, it's not everybody, but I saw a fair amount of it, and I can't, and it happens with police officers. Police officers work a lot. They get tired when they just sit in their car somewhere and kind of just doze off, man. It happens, but unfortunately, the mission of the Border Patrol is crucial and vital to this country, and it's not being done. And I mean, heck, we're getting it here in Louisville, dude. We locked up 2 Guatemalans in one day the other day, and I don't know if people know, but Guatemala doesn't have DUI law. So when these people come here, they think they can just drink and drive. And we had a guy, he was drunk, passed out in somebody's driveway in his car. And we're like, and this is the thing that's getting me right now, that's pissing me off. I have a little bit of Spanish. I know I can speak, and I'll start, they'll be like, oh, no entiendo, comprende, like, I don't understand. Then I'll use Google Translate. It's the same. I don't understand. And they try to play dumb and act stupid, like they don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm saying. And it pisses me off. And then I have to take them to jail. So, and I mean, man, it's just becoming such. I'm getting a ton of Venezuelans, a ton of Guatemalans, dude, becoming. I mean, I had a domestic the other day, and it was making my head hurt. And it was nothing but Spanish, and I mean, everybody's yelling and arguing, and I'm just kind of in the middle, like, okay, who's got my problem? You're going to jail.
That's what he just starts saying.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody knows the Lake and Riley story, but the thing is, you could tell a story like that almost every single day of an illegal who is out robbing someone, who is raping girls, who is killing multiple family members, driving drunk on the wrong side of the road, hitting people head on and killing them, murder and mayhem all over, teeth, hair, and eye all over the place. I mean, these stories could be told every single day. And if the media really wanted to make a difference in this country when it comes to getting the border over the out or under control, they would highlight these stories each and every day, and the American people would be seeing one illegal after another. Boom, 2 on this day, 3 on this day, 4 on this day, 1 on this day. Every single day they would be seeing these stories, and then I think they might rise up and say it's time to get something done, something substantial, and not all this hoo-ha that you put out there and act as if it's some kind of bipartisan border bill.
Man, let me ask you, man. Do you think I don't know? Maybe I'm just losing faith, or maybe I'm just I don't know how to say it, but losing faith in the American people. But I don't know if Americans care like I want them and expect them to care, man. You would figure with this many illegals in this country, and with them taking resources from us and our tax dollars and giving it to people who shouldn't be here, you would think there'd be more of an uproar, but there's not. You would think there would be more of an uproar in people's communities about crime being so crazy and just out of whack right now. But it's just, I don't know, man. I can't figure it out. Personally, I'm like, if this was going on in my backyard where I live, I'd be raising a stink every day. I'm not the type of guy, but I would be protesting if I went outside and there were people crapping on my sidewalk and shooting up drugs in my front yard. Like, but people have gotten like it's okay. And it's like nobody's saying anything. And they keep voting for it is the thing that gets me.
Yeah.
People keep voting for the same policies and politicians that are allowing this crap. And I don't get it.
Yeah, and I think I brought up a couple podcasts ago to Dan. Like we've been fortunate in our area, our little bubble, as we call the Anderson Township bubble / where I grew up, Montgomery, the Velvet Ghetto of Montgomery, the suburbs
Ghetto.
of Cincinnati.
The Velvet Ghetto.
Our Anderson bubble got pierced when
those are the main streets.
Our Anderson bubble got pierced when Dex came in November, and we finally actually had a murder.
I know we had a miniature spike in crime, man.
Allegedly,
you know, coincidence. Who knows?
But no, I mean we've been fortunate to not see an influx of nefarious, I'll call them illegal aliens, bad illegal aliens,
bad hombres
from where we sit currently. But I'm not naive to know that it's happening close to us. It just hasn't infiltrated us yet. Now, when a bunch of these watchful eyes motherfuckers of Anderson get an illegal walking down the street trying to take a shit on the sidewalk or do whatever, they're going to lose their ever-loving fucking minds. But
I hope so.
And Dex, you've been to where we live. You saw a small glimpse of it. I mean, it's suburbia.
It really
so we
is
are
nice.
we are cushioned. We're cushioned to it. But I know downtown Cincinnati cops are dealing with it, but we haven't seen a huge influx yet. But if it's starting to infiltrate Louisville, it's gonna continue north. It's gonna hit Cincinnati. It's gonna spread. Yeah, we're not a New York, we're not a Chicago, to where where they're technically getting busted.
Well, Dexter was talking about people rising up and saying they're fed up and they've had enough, and a lot of people in Chicago are saying that. I mean, they've had a lot of town hall meetings where people are they're disgusted that their tax dollars are being used to put these people up in hotels, to give them 3 squares a day, to pay for their medical care, to pay for schooling for their kids and stuff like that. And they're saying, wait a minute, these are our tax dollars. And then they act as if the media doesn't have any right to come into these publicly funded shelters where putting these people up and get some video and find out what really the hell is going on. Yeah. So the people of Chicago are getting fed up. A lot of people in New York are getting fed up about it. But Dexter, these are the people that these are the lower income people. These are the ones who are being put out. These are the ones who are being put upon, and they're the ones that are being inconvenienced. It's going to have to be the ones who are pulling down big 6 and 7-figure salaries and incomes. Those are the ones who are going to have to be inconvenienced on a regular basis, I think, before they start standing up and saying something's got to be done about this shit.
It almost
what it's going to take. It's going to take
trading places.
Oh yeah, literally, man. That's what's going to happen. It's gonna take one of these illegal immigrants or migrants. We ain't calling them newcomers. We ain't doing that bullshit. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? Call them newcomers.
Man. Newcomers.
Fuck that.
Newcomers, like
illegal
sounds like a cheap brand of shoes, dog.
Man. I call them aliens, man. Invited. How's that?
But it's gonna take one of them killing somebody in these rich neighborhoods. Lake and Ryan was killed, but she was at a college campus, and college campuses aren't notoriously in nice places. It's going to take somebody in power being killed or one of their family members or relatives to spark some sort of change. Then that's when it'll start coming. Until it's on their doorstep, they ain't going to know. And like you're a firefighter, you know how it is. The saying is, if your neighbor's house is on fire, you should probably pay attention because your house is probably going to catch fire too if it's not put out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things, and I can bring it into the fucking heroin epidemic, the opioid epidemic, that when it hit here, yeah, when it was early 2000s, I was making heroin runs 8 times a fucking shift, and it was never in the fucking news. But it took one council member of an affluent community, his daughter got affected. All of a sudden, then it was all over the fucking news here. I'm just saying, I mean, it's been an epidemic everywhere, but what we saw, it was never in the news. I'm like, dude, I've been dealing with this shit for fucking 4 years. And it was never reported. But to your point, it was somebody that was influential that got affected. I'm going to make a change right now because it affected me. And that's the fucked up part is some of these people and these fucking libs that want to, oh, well, it's America. We're all immigrants. We're blah, blah, blah. No. And no. I played a clip a couple podcasts ago with Charlie Kirk just blasting this girl because her dad was an illegal immigrant who somehow was voting, by the way. And
yeah, what's up with that?
And Charlie Kirk literally just fucking emaciated this girl in front of thousands of people. And it was the greatest fucking interview of his that I've ever seen. But I mean, he was right. Your dad is a criminal because he broke into our house. Plain and simple. It's breaking and entering.
Everybody's immigrants. So black people, we're imports. It's a whole different ball game for that one.
Oh my God. I could go 17 ways to Sunday on that, but I'm not going to, Dex. You're leading me. You're leading me, fucker. Is it because I said you had a nice tan the other day? Is that why you started to lead me?
Man, it is a beautiful tan if you look at me. Well, I look like a freshly sucked on Tootsie Roll right now, glistening, boy.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, the world right now is so fucking it's so jaded because you have people pitting Americans against Americans, which we have that with our politics anyway. But then you throw the immigration part in. Well, they should be allowed to be here. Why?
No.
If they come in legally, yes. If they do the right process, and I mean, I know some people that are trying to go through the process and do it the right way. It's very expensive,
and they're pissed and those people are pissed too because they paid thousands, almost $10,000 over a year to go through this process to be able to call themselves an American citizen. That's like being in line at, in Disneyland. You're almost to the front of the ride, and then you see them people with the fast pass come up, or somebody just hop the rail in front of you. Be like, hold the hell up, man! I've been here for hours. You just gonna jump the rail and just go? Oh, hell no!
And jump on that. I'll be like a migrant. I'll just shit in the line, just like all those people were shit in the fucking line at Disney.
God! Oh my God! No, it's true.
That had to be Disney, California.
You're right, exactly.
But here's what also people don't realize, man. There are some Illinois and California. Surprise, surprise. They're trying to make it to where non-U.S. citizens can become police officers. How is it going to look if we have non-U.S. citizens taking away the right of American citizens? How
upholding
is that
the Constitution?
Bro, like, how does that work? Something, and you have politicians in office saying this is okay. And then we got people that fought in this country like myself. I got buddies that are struggling to get benefits through the VA, but they're taking money from the VA and spending it on illegal migrants for medical care. When I got dudes waiting, hell, I had to wait almost a month to get in and be seen from my knee because I tore my meniscus. A month. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use my civilian. I don't want to wait. So everything's out of whack right now, bro. Like I said, at a certain point in time, you just wonder how we went from America, you know, with the Boston Tea Party over a small tax, like what, 2% on tea, to now to where we're taxed on everything we do. We're taxed on the stuff we buy. And now they're taking our money and sending it overseas to Ukraine and Israel and all these places that literally have nothing to do with it, yo. But when we're okay, and that's why I'm just like, at what point are American citizens we just gonna wake up like something's got to change because this ain't it? And I'm telling you what's gonna have to happen. If hopefully, God willing, Trump wins, there is going to have to be a mass deportation of epic levels. I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of people being hired by immigrations and customs enforcement and rounding these people up in this city, every one of them, and sitting at home. And on top of that, we're going to have to shut the border down completely for about 5 years to regain control of our country. And stop the flow. We have to. We're packed to the brim here in the gills. We have the resources. We just don't. And when there's no resources, guess what's going to happen? These guys are going to go out and start committing more crimes to get what they need and get what they want. And guess who's going to? They're going to target.
It's just going to get more dirty. It's just going to get more dirty.
And guess what? They're not going to go to get because they know ain't nothing in the hood. Guess where they're going? They're going to Anderson Township.
Yeah, right.
That's where they're going. They're coming to where I live at, in my little nook and cranny here.
That's when things are really going to get ugly. People who have the means and the desire to defend themselves are going to do that, and the shit's really going to start going sideways. You know, I was watching some of the news last week, and there was a city council meeting in New York last week, and you had all these illegals, the majority of them from Africa, who were in front of the city council, and they were complaining to the city council, saying that the food that you give us isn't any good. We don't like where we stay. People look at us nasty. You know, my son's illiterate. He's got special needs. And they're there illegally. And they're saying that America needs to do more. New York City needs to do more from them. Where does that sense of entitlement come from? The people that you encountered at the border, did they have that sense of entitlement when they were coming across illegally into the United States?
Dude, they knew the rules and laws better than any of us. They knew exactly what was supposed to happen because some of them have been caught plenty of times before, yo. But it's almost like sliding in home plate once you cross the border. It's like safe, you're here, and they knew that once they were here,
umpire's ruling safe.
Yep, man.
They're free to move about the country.
And it was different. Like some people were getting deported and some people weren't. But I'll tell you, the biggest thing for me that let me down with the way the feds operate was the court system. So here in our local jurisdiction, you know, and here in Jefferson County in Louisville, you catch somebody, like you said earlier, man, I can catch somebody in the middle of the act of doing something, robbing somebody, taking them to jail, and they're out in a couple hours. Man, I thought the federal government operated different. Man, we would catch people trying to smuggle aliens in the middle of the act. We put all the facts together. We take the case to the district attorney, and they be like, "We're not going to prosecute." I'm like, "Why? This is the feds. I thought we're supposed to be on a different level. The feds don't fuck around." But man, there were so many people that were let go, bro. I mean, so many people. And I was talking about losing faith in the system, and that's when I tell people in 2020 when they kept saying "no justice, no peace." I understood no justice, no peace to a certain degree. So unfortunately, justice is only reserved for those that have a certain amount of money in their pockets right now. But the rest of us don't get justice. And there's no justice in this country because the people that live in this country, that keep this country afloat, that work hard and pay taxes are being held hostage by a failed justice system. When people offend, they're re-released into the community to continue to offend. And all they get is these court date after court date after court date. And they're still out there committing offenses. And then you have somebody that shouldn't be here illegally that goes off and kills the young girl at the college down in Georgia. Or you got the guy in the hood who keeps getting that re-released. And then you have an officer that tries to stop this guy, and this guy kills an officer when he should be on the street. Like I said, our justice system has completely failed and collapsed. And it pisses me off as an officer of the law that here I am out in the streets doing all this work, or you got guys down the border doing all this work, trying to do the right thing and helping protect people. We're doing it on our end, but unfortunately, a car with a flat tire ain't going nowhere. And that flat tire right now is the judicial system in our country, from the lowest level to the highest level. Until we get that fixed, we ain't going nowhere. Man. We're literally stuck. We're just sitting ducks right now, and everybody's being affected by the crime. And like I said, because these dudes, there's no consequences for any criminal behavior. It is now rewarded, and these people are celebrated and lifted up to saint status, like George Floyd. They turned this into a god, a crackhead that loves to smoke drugs and meth. Fentanyl.
There's a
trying to pass off fake
drug
bills.
dealer, for God's sake.
You know, had enough fentanyl in the system to kill like 6 Kentucky Derby horses. But he's the victim. No, the lady that he held a gun to her stomach while she was pregnant is a victim. George Floyd ain't a victim. But for some odd reason, we turned him into St. George. And that, like, I'm at a loss for words, bro, with everything that's going on. It's things that were once called evil, we could all agree on, are now the good thing that everybody's in pursuit of in the name of, you know, justice and fairness and equality. And I'm like, man, we have lost our way, dude.
Yeah, that's to hear that perspective, you know, from obviously current law enforcement, former Border Patrol, Army veteran who got the shit blown out of him. Which, I mean, you're a man among men, in my opinion. You always will be. I mean, to hear those sentiments, I think, I mean, we're all three in agreement, and I'm sure most of the people in the chats and that are going to be listening to this are in agreement that, yeah, the system's fucking broke, and until we regain control and then do damage control after that, I mean, it's going to be a little while. But Dexter, hey, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find your book. I don't know if you want to tease what we were talking about before we went on the air or not. That's up to you.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. But yeah, definitely you can find me on Instagram at IamPitts1. That's where I am mostly. I literally just started getting on the TikTok, and right now I'm a grown ass man. I ain't gonna be on TikTok doing no dances and I ain't doing all that. I ain't on TikTok dancing.
That's it. I'm not getting a subscription now.
I hate TikTok, man. I it is so toxic, man. It's just, I hate it. But I'm on there at I Am Pitts book on Instagram or on TikTok, and I have my Facebook page, I Am Pitts Memoirs of an American Patriot. My book, I Am Pitts Memoirs of an American Patriot. You can go to IamPitts.com or go to Amazon. I tell people, man, it's only like $3, $4, $5 on Amazon. So if you want it and you want to send it and get it signed, just send me a note, hop on IG, send me a message, and man, I'll work out something with you where you send me the book and I sign it and I send it back to you. But other than that, man, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm a little bit behind the podcast, and for those that listened to my last episode, I thought it was a horrible episode, man. I was lit when I was doing it too. I was kind of drunk, so then just the audio quality was horrible, and that's when I decided I'm going back to audio, man. Just doing audio solo on this platform is just not that great. So, but I'm gonna save the audio for the interviews I do, and I've been a little behind on the podcast. Like I say, I have a real life out of here. I'm working. I'm a cop. Actually, getting ready to go to my son's baseball game. I'm an assistant coach. I got a wife. I got a daughter, and man, it's derby season here, and we are slammed to the gills. And I got all types of training. I'm on H&T now, hostage negotiation squad. So got a lot of pans in the fire, man. But I'm around.
You are a busy man. That is no doubt. Dex, we appreciate you being on. We'll let you get ready for I forgot. Go ahead.
I think the thing you were teasing my next book, right?
Yeah.
So I'm working on my second book, which is weird because I said I would never write another book, but it kind of goes in alignment with everything we're talking about.
I'm Still Pitts. Is that the title?
It's gonna be like I Was Pitts. I'm going trans. But no, one's going to be called Still Needed, Still Noble, or excuse me, Still Noble, Still Needed, a Crisis in Profession. And this is pretty much, I'm trying to kind of be a forefront leader in leading people back into law enforcement as a guy, as a lower level bottom guy, as police chief, because we got all the police chiefs that are kind of removed from law enforcement. This is a great job. Like, sure, it's great sitting from your desk, you're not down in the streets every day getting shot at, yelled at, cursed at. You're kind of far removed. But this used to be a profession where people would come to be a cop because they wanted to be a cop and because of what it meant and represented. This used to be a profession where people were proud to have their sons or their daughters pick up their legacy and carry on that legacy of service in a police uniform. So what this book I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put the profession of policing back in a positive light and encourage more people to come back into the profession. But this is going to be different because what I'm going to do different with this book is, before I dive into everything that's been going wrong with the police department and how everybody else is wrong but the police, I'm opening my book in the first chapter with the things that we've gotten wrong in this profession over many years that honestly have kind of led to the amount of distrust that people have against the police, because unfortunately we're supposed to be the good guys, but we're not always the good guys. And there are plenty of instances of that cops have done wrong within this profession that have tarnished the badge and the reputation and has taken away from what we're trying to build with the community. And so before I can do anything in this book, I have to acknowledge and address the things that we've done wrong in the past, because until we acknowledge those things and understand that the distrust, there's nowhere to go forward. So that's going to be that's what I'm working on right now. Got the introduction and the first chapter almost done. Like the last book took 7 years. Honestly, I'm hoping to have this one done hopefully by the end of the year, or hopefully by end of next year at the most. But so I told you, man, Jason, I wrote it for 8 hours the other day, man. I forgot how much I really enjoy writing.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the process. So we'll see what the end product is. So hopefully it's something good, and hopefully really helps to uplift the profession and restore nobility and honor to the job, and draw some good people back in.
I have no doubt that it's going to be phenomenal. Your first book was phenomenal, and you've already done it once. So now you got to lay in the land. So man, I have no doubt that's
glutton for punishment, man.
Hey, if it was easy, everybody would do it. I would do it.
Man, that's true, man. That's true.
He can't even show up to a podcast on time. So
let's
baby step.
We all got our crosses to bear.
That's right.
Dex, we appreciate you taking the time away from your family to hang out with us. But make sure everybody go check out I Am Pitts on Instagram and all the platforms, and make sure you get his book, man. It's phenomenal. But Dex, hey, bring home a W tonight.
Man, I hope, bro. We on a 3-game losing, dog. We'll see. We shall see. I appreciate y'all, man, as always.
Thank you, Dexter.
Get out there and get it, Buttermaker.
Great seeing. Enjoy that bourbon.
Yes, sir.
See you, buddy.
I meant to ask him what beverage he was enjoying, but it looked like
it's bourbon.
A little bourbon there.
It's bourbon.
Good stuff.
I love Pitts.
Yeah, that guy. I forgot how awesome that guy. It's been a while since I've heard or talked to him, and I forgot how awesome that guy was. So much fun to have on.
He's seen a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, and his perspective is great. And if you haven't had a chance to look at his first book, I'll still never forget opening up that first chapter of the book, and that first chapter of the book just grabs you, and you can't put it down.
Yeah,
it's amazing writing. It really is.
So,
all right.
Where you want to go?
Well, our numbnut president is going to go to Syracuse, New York. The local police have asked, please just not yet. They had a couple of police officers who were killed on duty. And Onondaga County Sheriff's Lieutenant Michael Hossack and Syracuse police officer Michael Jensen shot and killed in an ambush-style attack a few days ago. They just laid one of these officers to rest yesterday, and Biden is going there on Thursday. And so this is not just one department, but multiple departments that are in mourning. This is a community that is still in shock, that is trying to recover from 2 law enforcement officers being killed by some criminal punk. So Joe Biden can go and score a few political points by announcing that a chip making company is going to be going to Syracuse and investing all this money and creating some jobs. And all they're saying is, would you please wait? Because when he shows up, everyone who's in law enforcement is on duty that day. There's no time off. You got to come in. And this is a community that is grieving right now. But instead of being able to process that, they've got to go and babysit this fucking clown. It's sick and disgusting. I mean, it just shows the contempt that this guy has for law enforcement. And I haven't heard Biden or the White House say one word. And maybe they have, maybe I missed it, but I haven't heard Biden or the White House say one word about these 2 law enforcement officers that were killed in the line of duty.
Well, Brandon Williams shared a statement that I've got on the screen. It says, as the president is aware, our community is still reeling from last week's tragedy. We lost 2 heroes in the line of duty. The grant he is coming to tout is worth celebrating, but that must wait until the men and women of our law enforcement have had time to properly mourn. I stand in complete support with our local police requesting the president's trip to be postponed. They don't fucking want him there. They don't want him there. So anytime that I feel that I'm not wanted somewhere, I don't fucking go, typically. Now, unless I really want to piss somebody off, but I don't think this is that realm. But take a fucking clue, dude.
It seems to me he would score a lot more political points if he would acquiesce to their demands. And it would be a great opportunity to make a speech about law enforcement and backing the blue. And, we salute our men and women in uniform. But no, he's not doing that.
Nope. Since he's back, he's bitching about Dexter's fucking router. And then didn't you just bitch about him not going to something similar last week? They're asking him not to come. They're asking him to not be around. Let the fucking people grieve.
Yeah. But this company called Micron Technology is going to come in and make some chips. They're getting $6.1 million in grants from the Commerce Department to go to Syracuse, New York, and open this factory. So Joe Biden is going to, we're spending $6 billion of your money.
You said million at first.
No, it's billion with a B.
But
My bad.
I'm just correcting your first one because since he's going to jump on it.
Yeah,
so.
6.1 billion. 6.1 billion. So this company can come in. Now they're saying they're going to invest, I guess over years, $100 billion. No telling how much of that is going to be our government money.
I'm pretty sure that that little the escapade, the celebration would be completely, anybody that's in charge of it would be completely fine to let the fucking police mourn. Guess what? The money's still coming. So if you postpone it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a week, I don't care.
Yeah, do it next week.
Postpone it. You're still getting your fucking money, and you can have all the fucking flowers and the fucking cannon shooting off and whatever. So me bitching about him not going to something, it's the timing. His timing's fucking terrible. His whole fucking administration's timing is terrible.
I mean, this is a great opportunity to evoke a lot of symbolism.
He could have showed up.
Talk about your respect for police.
He could have showed up for the fucking funeral, and I'd be good with that.
He probably don't even know these 2 guys got killed.
But he's going for that grant. So that's where the issue is, Cincy.
$6.1 billion. It's sick and disgusting. Hey, I'm spending more of your money. Vote for me.
Hey, I know you guys just lost 2 cops in your area, but I'm going to need all of those people available for protection details.
Yeah.
Fuck your mourning. Fuck your grieving. I'm coming into town.
And the thing is, they're not.
And they all do it.
They're not anywhere near where Biden is going to be. They're out there on the roads. They're blocking exits.
Right.
They're securing the route that he's going to take from the airport to wherever the event is. That's the kind of grunt work that they'll be doing. So it's not as if it's a great honor to be called in to be on duty when Joe Biden comes to town, or any president for that matter. Although Trump, when he comes to town and he sees men and women in uniform, he goes over and shakes their hands and thanks them for what they're doing.
Oh, you want to hit this one real quick?
Which one's that? Oh, Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
All right, let's just play the video. I mean, Alec Baldwin goes to a coffee shop, and some Karen with a Although she sounds like a Palestinian or some kind of a fucking foreigner. And she starts wearing Alec Baldwin out, and you got to watch it. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I got to say.
But this is just fucking ignorant.
He might got to push a little too far here.
Alec, can you please say free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? You killed that lady and got no jail time? No jail time, Alec?
Sorry.
No jail time, Alec. You're putting innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin.
I'm so sorry.
Free Palestine, Alec, just one time, and I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone, I swear. Just say free Palestine one time. One time. One time.
Call the police.
One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a fucking criminal. Come on, Alec. Just say free Palestine one time. One time. Just one time. Please. And I'll leave you alone. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel. Fuck Zionism. Please say it. One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Alec, can you?
That's pretty cold.
It was pretty fucking quick.
That is pretty cold.
He was pretty quick. I mean, the motherfucker can't even go get coffee.
The way that gal was wearing him out, I'm almost inclined to say she got what was coming to her. Although that video is not going to do him any favors if she decides to sue him.
Oh, definitely not.
Because he had plenty of opportunity to just walk away.
He was in an open doorway, should have just walked. Fuck the coffee. I'll go. No, she would have followed him, but
yeah.
But you have to.
What's the likelihood she would have followed him and badgered him as he was walking down the street? Probably. That's probably what would have happened.
100%.
100%. Thank you.
100%.
Although I got to give him props. I mean, that was like a no-look jab to the face. Man.
He held his shit together a lot longer than I would have. I mean, and what does him having the incident on the Rust set where he fucking shot somebody?
I don't know.
Have anything to do with fucking free Palestine?
Nothing.
Nothing. Zero.
Nothing.
That's just called badgering. It's badgering, and that's what I do to you. Is he Jewish? I don't know. So maybe
it
doesn't matter. Does it matter?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I can see both sides of the argument there. That if you're on his side for doing what he did, I can also see the other side. He had opportunity to walk away, but
he should not have laid hands. But I'm glad he did.
It was very satisfying to watch him fucking jack her fucking jaw. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I
it
agree.
was extremely satisfying to see that. So I'm in Alex's corner on this one. Is it Alec or Alex?
Alec.
Yeah, I'm on Alex corner on this.
David J said clip it. Kiefer said free Palestine. I'm sure Deadleg will grab it, I'm sure.
Gaze for Palestine.
Oh my god.
But sex on my mind.
Oh, let's hit this one too. We're gonna go a little bit over, but it's all right. It's worth it.
Is this the other one I sent you?
The comedian.
Oh, the comedian. Okay, all right. This guy has responded. I set it up.
All right, so the headline for this is breastfeeding mom kicked out of comedy show speaks out and it backfires. This mother, in quotes, this mother is so entitled. So I like stand-up comedy. I'm not familiar with this guy's work, and I didn't get a chance to look at it. But I'll read the article. The mother who was booted from a comedy show because her baby was crying has tried to get her point across on television, but her attempt to gain sympathy has backfired. Trisha Faranda went on A Current Affair on Monday night after she was asked to leave Arj Barker's show at the Melbourne Comedy Festival because her seven-month-old was crying. As she was explaining what had happened, her baby became, and this is in the interview, her baby became unsettled and viewers struggled to hear what she or the interviewer, Allie Langdon, were saying. But apparently she was attempting to breastfeed during this comedy show. And I don't know who takes a toddler that needs to be breastfed to a comedy show, but maybe you didn't have a sitter. I don't know. But so I guess I'm trying to grab the article here. Taken to ACA's Facebook page, one person wrote she couldn't even get through a 5-minute interview properly because her baby was playing up the whole time. I have kids, and there's always a time and a place for little children. This mother's so entitled, it's unbelievable. The baby's performance on A Current Affair says it all, said somebody else.
Well, look, here's the thing. Moms, we love the moms. We love the babies. but there is a time and a place for everything. And going to a comedy show with 700 people in the audience and thinking that you are so special. And look, I understand having a baby is a wonderful thing. God bless you for being a mom. But making sure that everyone knows how special you are because you have a little baby. And you are going to breastfeed that baby come hell or high water in the middle of a freaking comedy show. And you're going to interrupt the comic while you're doing. You know what that says? That says, hey, everybody, look at me. I know we all paid, $40 or $50 or $100 to see the comedian, but I want you all to look at me instead and look how special I am because I'm bonding and breastfeeding my baby.
Yeah, look at my tit hanging out.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, remember a few years ago we were going through this.
I'm going to do that to Jill next comedy show we go to. I'm going to be like, well, I need to breastfeed right now.
Well,
right now, we're not getting kicked out of this place because we're special.
But we were going through this at Target, right? Remember the Target, women were going in there and whipping out their teats, and the little kids were sucking away on the old milk jug teats. There. And so there was all this debate about women breastfeeding in public. Look, Mom, the deal is this. You got to be a better mom than that. There's a time and a place for everything. If you want to go to the comedy show and take your newborn or a kid who is still what do kids breastfeed until they're a year and a half, 2 years old, maybe something like that.
That's up for debate.
I've seen some kids who are like 5 and 6, sucking on the nipple. That ain't right.
How about 44?
You're breastfeeding at 44?
Well, it's not my mom, but
okay. Well, look, if you're done.
Yeah, I knew that'd get you.
Yeah, but no.
Monkey wrench.
God bless your mom.
Monkey wrench thrown in the gears there.
But look, schedule that around the comedy show, or guess what? Don't go to the comedy show.
Yeah,
you're a mother now. You have baby over here, comedy show over here. Which one's more important, baby or comedy show? I would hope you would side on the side of the baby.
Well, I think CPS.
The baby's more important.
CPS says you can put a child in a cage for 12 hours, no more. No more than 12 hours. So
CPS?
Yeah. Children's Protective Services. Put the kid in a cage for 12 hours.
No, you can't do that. A breastfeeding baby you're going to leave in unattended for 12 hours?
Dan, I saw it on the internet.
No, that's not right.
I saw it on the internet.
Look. Okay. Look, all the women who want to support mom in her breastfeeding ways. Oh, it's beautiful. It's natural. It's an expression of love, and it's great and all that kind of stuff. Well, what if my doctor told me that for my own health, I had to jerk off a couple of times a day? All right. Perfectly normal human function. Everybody does it. And then I decided, my jerk-off session is scheduled the same time the comedy show, or maybe we have diamond seats, and maybe I just need to, express myself while I'm in the diamond seats.
Express myself.
Right? Hey, doctor's orders. Got to rub one off, and I'm watching the ball game. What's your problem?
Keeps my stress level down.
Everybody does it. Totally natural.
Come
on. I can make the same argument.
I've got sandwiches all around.
that might be frowned. That activity might be frowned upon.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a mom breastfeeding her baby. When I was working in Dayton one time, we had a story. I was anchoring the morning news, and we had a story one time about this mom who had to take her little baby to the doctor. And she's on the bus. She's riding the bus to the doctor's office, and the kid's got projectile vomiting and explosive diarrhea. So it's just pouring out of both ends of this kid. It's an absolute mess on the bus. The people are gagging. I mean, you know how it is. The bus driver politely
actually getting ready to make me gag the visual that
the bus driver says, "Could you please take the kid off the bus?" Well, people were so upset. Oh my God. The mom was just taking her little baby to the doctor. Well, you have to be considerate of other people. And by the way, she got off 1 block away from where the doctor's office was. So it wasn't that far. So we did this story, and we had a little chit chat time after that. And I looked at the camera and I said, "Look, Mom," I said, "again, we love the little kids. We love mothers. But when I'm riding a public bus, I don't want to smell what your baby is cooking. So you got to be considered." That bus driver had other passengers to think about, and not just that mom and her little baby.
Yeah. It's not
so asking her to take a step off the bus, to my way of thinking, is not the worst possible thing.
Tap paid, sweet.
And I got fired after that. So we don't want to smell what little Junior is cooking. I mean, It's a part and parcel of the same argument that I don't look. If you want to breastfeed all day long, please, by all means, but don't complain and criticize when people look at it like, this. Fine, breastfeed all you want, but this really isn't the place for it.
Well, I mean, and I mean to the point of bringing a baby to the comedy festival, I agree. Like it's a little bit weird.
Yeah,
but
she was interrupting the show.
If you don't have a sitter,
men in the audience were standing up telling her to get the hell out.
Remove yourself.
Yes.
Go to the restroom. Do your thing. I mean, a lot of places now, not a ton, but like going down to see Rob at University Hospital, I see a sign. I took a picture of it. Lactation room. They have a room for it.
That's where the breastfeeding gets done.
That's where that work gets done.
Yeah.
Correct.
No problemo.
But there's also a restroom that you could go do that. And when you're I pulled the story off, but apparently, obviously the comedian was being distracted. He was like, dude, what are we doing here? What is actually happening?
People couldn't hear what they paid good money to go to that show. They couldn't hear what he was saying because the baby was acting up so bad.
I'm so glad you sent me that fucking.
And I guess she finally left the arena. That when I
10 others in solidarity left with her. 10 other people in solidarity.
Who cares? I don't care.
Get out. Bye. I'm moving up.
Real quick jerks for his health. You and me, brother. Rock on.
You guys are in solidarity. Do you guys do it together? That's weird. Especially if
we don't live in the same
especially
state.
If you make eye contact.
We don't live in the same state.
Well, you don't have to. You have a phone.
Well, it doesn't work that way for me.
Oh, shit. Oh,
we're getting dangerously close to a road I don't want to get on.
It's off the
rails.
But
no, the guy came in. People couldn't hear the show. Take the baby out of there. We used to have when I used to go to church when I was a little kid, we had a priest that would, if there was a baby in the church who started crying, he would stop what he was doing until that mom got out and walked out of the church with her crying ass baby, so she wouldn't interrupt everyone else. Good enough for Jesus. It's good enough for me.
I'm trying to find your EV one. I think I may have deleted it.
Which one's that?
The last one you sent me. Oh no, here I got it.
Oh, is that?
I thought I had it pulled up. You sent me some stuff at the last minute.
Oh yeah, don't worry about this one. This is what it takes to make a battery for a Tesla. It's pretty amazing. We can talk about that another time.
All right, well, send it to me again then.
All right, I'll send it to you again.
All right, so let's
do the last one with the guy who. Look, you've laid down a motorcycle before. I've laid down a motorcycle before, but I didn't exactly do it the way this guy did.
Which one is it? Oh, it's this guy. That's why I hate when you don't send subject.
Well, I did have a subject line.
It didn't fit.
Oopsie.
The music.
Somebody's looking around. Did anybody see that?
He didn't even look. He was like, "Ah, fuck."
I'm looking at the people walking up behind, like, "Yeah, I'm just doing some push-ups."
Play that one.
I got a little road rash going on. What's he got on? Like a pair of shorts and a tux?
He wasn't going super fast. No, he's got like a fucking shoulder bag or something. But the fact that he just laid out, his arms might be a little bruised up a little bit. And he's like,
yeah, he wasn't going all that fast.
That was a good one.
No, the one I had Paul on the back one day, and this is before I met you. It's back when I had my Suzuki. We was in the summertime, and we took it to a softball game I was in. So we play softball. We're riding back home when we're on Columbia Parkway.
Was she holding your glove and bat? Like as you're riding, was she like holding your
glove? Yeah, she had a hold of it.
This? Yeah. Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah. I mean, you do you,
but she was on the back. And so we're on Columbia Parkway. The rainstorm comes up. And Columbia Parkway is the worst place for something like that to happen because there is nowhere to pull over. And people are going, 60, 70 miles an hour. So we lived in Mount Washington at the time. Make it all the way down Columbia Parkway, way across the levee, up the hill. We get into the parking lot, and the parking lot had just been paved with fresh asphalt. I mean, like that week. And so you had all that rain, that wetness on the parking lot. It had stopped raining by this time. But kind of like this guy, we just went in the parking lot, went around the curve, and zoop, the bike just went right out from under us. And I laid it down. We didn't do any push-ups. But we picked up the bike.
Get the fucking bike up, god damn it! I laid mine down coming off of 275 onto Beachmont. You know, just a very slow exit ramp, and apparently a gravel truck had gone in front of me at some point throughout the day, and I'd only had my bike for my newest bike, the bike that I have now, 6 months.
Oh.
And I dropped that motherfucker, and I was so mortified and embarrassed.
It is embarrassing.
They didn't realize, nobody stopped for one to even help. But my adrenaline was pumping so bad that I was able to grab this bike. Weighs 850 pounds. I grabbed it, almost top ended it, and threw it over the other side. I was like, oh shit! Ended up pulling like a muscle in my fucking gut, fucking bruised my hip. But yeah, I mean, it happens. But the fact that guy had the wherewithal, like, you know what?
Were you looking around indicating to see if in case anybody noticed?
Oh no, there was fucking cars everywhere. I knew everybody fucking saw.
Weren't you with Chris when that happened?
No, I was by myself.
Right.
I was coming back from my mom's house when she lived in Blue Ash. But the wherewithal, this guy was just like, you know what? Got to pay the price. Push some asphalt, my man.
Maybe that you lay it down, you give us 20.
Yeah, that's right. You fucked up.
There you go.
You don't fucked up, AA Ron.
Is that could be a rule for the warthogs? You lay it down, you give us 20.
Yeah, you get a warthog tusk if you wreck your bike and survive. You get a commemorative warthog tusk.
Is that what you get?
Yeah.
Is that why those guys have their tusks on their cuts?
Yeah, and I don't want one.
So I was going to say that's something you don't want to have.
I don't want one.
Okay.
I'm good. Well, guys, I know we went a little bit longer today, and sorry for some of the technical issues I think that was on Dex's end, not, throwing shade. It is what it is.
Yeah, but Pitts is still great.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome.
Love having that guy on.
Our last episode, we got blocked. So most of you are probably in the lives, but we got blocked because I played too long of a South Park episode. So I re-uploaded with an edit in our video section of our YouTube channel. So we'll hopefully not have to do that again. But I preempted it knowing that we were probably going to I thought we were going to get banned, but it was just a friendly
just a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah, smack on the wrist. Hey, don't do that. So, but we got a couple ad reads before we get out of here.
Oh,
duh.
You want to go first?
Duh.
You want to go? Take me a second to pull this up.
I know. I just fucking decided to do it.
All right. Let's see.
But I think it's only right that we do.
Yeah, we got a big event coming up for the Varner Foundation for Children and Families next week. I believe it is on Thursday night. And
no, not next Thursday.
Oh, it's next month. It's like
it's
2 or 3 Thursdays. Okay,
Thursdays.
It's a few weeks away, but still, the Varner Foundation for Children and Families, they reach out to other adoption agencies in and around the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Southeast Indiana area, and they help families out. It's a tough thing. Families who take in foster kids are very special. We have always believed that, and they take those kids in out of love. They don't do it for money. And a lot of those foster families, after 1 year, they quit doing it because it is such a strain on their financial resources. And that's where the Varner Foundation can help out. If an emergency pops up, something unexpected in the financial area, a lot of times it only takes 1 or 2 or 3 phone calls, and a family can get a flat tire fixed, or they can get a car repair, or they can get something, maybe a lock on a door, or a kid needs a bed or a prescription, something along those lines. That's what the Varner Foundation for Children and Families does. And all the money that you donate to the Varner Foundation, 100% of it goes to the mission.
Drink.
And I'll drink to that. But they've got a big event. We'll be telling you more about that. It's kind of a private event, so it's not like everybody can go.
Correct.
But it's still pretty cool.
Huge fundraising event.
Yeah.
Though.
So we're looking forward to that. But you want to find out more about it. It's the VarnerFoundation.org. Varner Foundation, all one word, .org.
Yeah. Killed that very nicely.
There you go.
We also have our friends from Engraved in USA. In business for over 25 years, engraving your business awards, promotional employee and customer brewery drinkware, golf outing accessories, promotional and recognition items. If you're a smaller global company, we have the team that can design and produce quality items to enhance your business. Call the team of Tanya, Tammy, Tim, or Rich, 513-682-2557 and say, again, 100%.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to throw Rich's email up on the banner. Hey, too much shit going on. But get with our peeps. Get with our peeps at Engraved in USA, man. They're awesome. Produce a bunch of good shit, and they can help you design whatever it is you want. They can figure out a way to do it. So they've been fantastic to us, and we can't thank them enough.
Yeah, great sponsor of the show, and some of the keepsake items that they've come up with to present to some of our guests have just been just one of a kind, really beautiful and high quality items.
So
we appreciate them for that.
So I'm working on our next live one. Nothing's confirmed yet, but I got to see our buddy Marty Bredeman the other day.
Oh yeah, where'd you see him?
The Kroger.
That's where a lot of people see Marty.
The Kroger.
Marty.
And he couldn't run fast enough to get away from me. And I tackled him and choked him out and said, "Hey, no." Said we're going to try to get Marty and Tom together. So we just got to figure out timing. But I've got a plan in place, I think. So
okay.
Just so that's on your radar.
Still one of the most fun events we ever did.
Absolutely. It was awesome.
Not a doubt. The Hall of Famer.
But hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't have my phone close to me I don't know when our next one is, but it'll be on the Instagram. I'll throw it out on Facebook, and we'll let you know when the next one is.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Next couple days, I think.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, rate, review.